What's going down, everybody? It's your boy Jay Rich, back to give you your NBA props for Friday, May the 13th. We have the Golden State Warriors at home trying to close out the Memphis Grizzlies, and we have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Boston Celtics trying to close them out. But before we get into that, let's talk about how we did last night. We had Max Strus go way over on his rebound prop. He put up 10 in the last game, put up 10 again last night. What can I say? Max Strus is apparently the board god.
Boy got back-to-back double-doubles. I'd be damned. Oh, okay. Damn. Maybe you should have got the max contract.
On top of that, Jimmy Butler hit his par. He did it mostly with the points. He got some rebounds. He got some late assists, so we didn't quite get that number. And unfortunately, Tobias Harris let us down yesterday.
Tobias Harris over me?
We had his over 2.5 assists. He didn't hit that number. It was all Joel, all Maxey, and no Harden in the second half, apparently. 76ers eliminated. Game 7 is going to be coming on Sunday between the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns, who tied up their series. Luka got it done, scoring 33 points last night. But let's get into the props for today. I think we got some good ones. You know I've been all over the Celtics and Bucks series, so I have a few more that I like for that today. Let's get into it right now. For all the high-flying action, take a step back and relax. It's time to count that money. The NBA props. No look any further. You know what time it is. Presented by PRIZEPICKS. NBA props. Let's
Count that money, man.
So the first prop I want to talk about today is Jayson Tatum and his point total. Jayson Tatum's been on a mission to take the Boston Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals, and the biggest thing here is that he is just shooting more and more and more every game. Tatum, for whatever reason, has finally decided that it's going to ride or die with him. He is the star. I did talk about yesterday how Jimmy Butler, being the star for the Miami Heat, will have to carry them down the stretch, and he did just that. He scored most of his points in the second half. I believe he scored over 20 points in the second half. So again, this is what you need. You need your stars to come up big on the road, and I think Jayson Tatum is a guy who can do that. He's gone over 30 in 2 of his last 3, and his number on the books is 29.5. PrizePicks is giving it to us at 28.5. Slight discount there, and I'd be willing to bet that Tatum takes enough shots to go over again. He shot like 2 of 13 from the 3-point line last time. I don't expect that to happen again. The biggest thing with Tatum is he's been struggling from 3, and if he can get that going, if he can figure that out, this will be an easy over for Tatum. So I'm already liking the over for Tatum, and I got to go against his running mate on the other side, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm going to be taking the over on his points. I know what you're thinking. 32.5, but this is just Giannis' series at this point. He put up 40, he put up 34, he put up 42. He's taking almost more shots every single game. Just when you think he's done and he's had enough, he takes more the following game. Last game, it was the first time he didn't take over 27 shots. He only took 27. The previous games, he's still been going up after that. I honestly think Giannis is good for 40 tonight. I just believe that at home, with how much more he scores at home, with how well he plays at home, he's going to be looking at an over. He's going to be looking to close out the Boston Celtics. 32.5 points is a lot, but it's 33.5 on the books. That is also juice to the over. I just think there's a lot of chances where he takes 30 plus shots and he makes 40, scores 40 plus points. It's just, we're going to see, man. He's been shooting upwards of 29 at the high point, and I just think in an elimination game, it's going to be all on Giannis. We've seen him take over in second halves. We've seen him control the rock heavily, a lot of him and Drew Holiday. I'm taking the over on Giannis' points here. Even at 32.5, I honestly think there's a chance that this could be 33 by the time the ball tips off tonight. And then I want to talk about Jaylen Brown too, another player who should be good for his points today. We're going to see. I'm not all over it overall in the props. The main reason why is because he's not playing a ton of minutes. We know that he dealt with the hamstring injury, but he's been scoring a lot, and that's really the biggest reason why I don't hate the number overall. 28 last game, 18 the game before, then 27 and 30. He's really found his stroke in this series, especially on the road. He's been playing much, much better. But the big thing for me is that he hasn't been playing as many minutes. He's been playing somewhere around 35 minutes, whereas with Tatum, we know that he's kind of come from the Kevin Durant school of playoff minutes, where if he's got to play 46, he'll play those minutes. I don't know if Boston will let Jaylen Brown go out there and run for 40 minutes in this game, but it is an elimination game. So I think if there's any game that Jaylen Brown gets the full reins to play 40 to 42 minutes, I do think there's a good shot that he could go over. It's whenever he takes upwards of 16 field goal attempts is when he's gone over this number in this series, and he's gone over, like you see, in 3 of his last 4. 23.5 isn't a terrible number. It's a little bit higher than I'd like to see, but I'm good with it overall. I also don't mind Jrue Holiday if you want to go after Jrue Holiday. He's been scoring a lot in this series, a little bit up and down. 21.5 is a little bit more than I'd like. I'd like it at 19.5, like it at 20.5. Now it's up to 21.5. And then the other one that I'm sure people will be talking about and be on is Al Horford. Al Horford, obviously on the road, scored tremendously, 30 points, 22 points. But I think the issue is that we can't say for certain that he's going to get those shots and make those shots. Last game, it was really just Tatum and Brown chucking. And on top of that, Marcus Smart probably taking a lot more shots than he should have. While he scored well, it was pretty evident that he kind of wanted to be the guy in some respects to end that game and made 2 crucial mistakes down the stretch that in some ways cost him the game overall. Now, a game is still 48 minutes. There's still lots that goes on in between, but Marcus Smart, 14.5. I don't hate it overall. He's gone over that in the past 2 games. And Al Horford, 12.5 seems modest, but I'm going to be staying away from it overall. Now, the most unpredictable game, I think, by far is going to be this Memphis-Golden State game. Obviously, Memphis blew out Golden State last time around, but I'm looking at Andrew Wiggins right now, and I want to talk about his rebound prop. The main reason why is because Otto Porter has a foot injury. He's actually been dealing with a foot injury all year, and he's been their primary rebounder, whether it's off the bench, whether it's, with Draymond mostly playing at the three-point arc. They use Otto Porter in a rebound 3-and-D type of role, and he's thrived in that heavily. When Draymond was out, Otto Porter had games where he had 8, 10 rebounds a game. And I think one of the things that's going to happen is we're going to see what happens with Otto Porter. He's questionable right now, so he may be good to go by the end of the day. But if he's not, Andrew Wiggins at 5.5 is a really good value. And it's a guy who we've seen can go over very easily. He's gone over in 7 of his last 10 playoff games, and he's been 8+ 3 games this series. So he's not a guy who's scared to go after those rebounds. And I think the way that they're playing right now, he's going to have to do that. So if it's my money, I'd be willing to bet that Andrew Wiggins can go over 5.5 rebounds. And I think they're going to need it in this series. I think Golden State can close them out, but if they can't and this game is close, we're going to see a lot of Poole, a lot of Clay, and a lot of Steph. We're going to see the splash amigos, as I like to call them, and I think that's going to be really good for Andrew Wiggins to be in the lineup a lot, play a ton of minutes, and get a lot of rebounds. So I do like the over 5.5. So like I said, we talked about Jason Tatum's points over. I think he's good for 30. Giannis over 32.5. I think he's good for 40, but we'll see. I'm not going to go crazy now. And then Andrew Wiggins over 5.5 rebounds. I think that's another really good number that we're getting today. And as always, if you tail, give them hail. And if we fail, do not bail. We'll be back on Sunday for the Dallas Mavericks Phoenix Suns Game 7. If there is a Game 7 for the Boston Celtics and Milwaukee Bucks, that will also be on Sunday. And if there's a Game 7 for Memphis Golden State, that will be on Monday. So we'll see you guys on Sunday no matter what. We'll be back. We're excited. I'm excited for these conference finals, but I'm more excited to hit these props. Good luck today, everyone. We out. Peace.